Hey everyone, it's Wendy Pro with Penguin Random House, and I'm here to tell you about two of my favorite books this fall that I think are great for you to purchase for yourself, to read and also to buy and give as gifts. So the first one is called Wintering, The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times by Katherine May. And this is such a book for our time. It is a balm for the soul. And what Katherine May means by wintering is, wintering in this case is sort of a metaphor for how and why to hunker down and take care of yourself and kind of get through our darkest, most challenging times in life. And I read this before the pandemic and it just rang true and helped me immensely. And now, guys, we're all wintering. We're all living through a collective horrible time. And this is the guide. Now, this is sort of part memoir. She talks about her own wintering and her own life story. It is sort of nature writing because she brings in really wonderful examples of actual wintering with trees and wolves and hibernating dormice and bees, you name it. It's part travelogue. She talks about a couple of her journeys she took while she was wintering most recently. And it's just self-help and inspiration as well. It starts out where she talks about, again, her most recent wintering where her husband was critically ill and her son was struggling in school, so she took him out to homeschool, and then she got sick, so sick she couldn't work. She had to leave her job, and she describes this process. So it's sort of a bit of a roadmap. It is, like I said, inspirational and just beloved by so many people, and such a beautiful book. The next book is called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Came out a couple months ago. And, you know, he wrote a few years ago How to Stop Time, which is honestly one of my favorite novels of all time and is available in paperback. But this new novel is great. It's another book with an interesting premise. It's Nora Seed, who's in her mid-30s, living in London, very despondent, depressed, lonely, and frankly thinks she has nothing to live for. She tries to kill herself. She wakes up in this sort of in-between space, which manifests for her as a library. And in this midnight library, there is a guide who is actually a librarian that she used to know and used to really like when she was a little girl in school. And this librarian guides her through these books and a book of regrets and all the things she hates about her life, and shows that each of the thousands and millions of books in this midnight library represent a different life and a different path that Nora could take. So book by book, life by life, path by path, Nora experiences all these various choices and things she didn't make to lead these different lives. Ultimately, it's feel good because it's kind of, you know, it's the message of the grass is not always greener, right? Kind of reminded me of like Dorothy at the end of Wizard of Oz when she realized there's no place like home. And great New York Times review, I love this, where the reviewer actually likens it to It's a Wonderful Life, where that decision and different path and different life that you can lead impacts everybody around you. So I would say these are my two choices for the fall for gift giving. Please remember to shop locally and buy them from your independent local bookstore. Thanks.